Look, I mean, I came here and I was always dedicated to the idea of building a large company. So that was my idea from the very first beginning. I didn't want to build a business. So building a business was the fundament for growing. So CyberGhost was profitable from day one. So we focus on revenue, profitability from day one. And the idea was always to grow a company and to build something here in Romania that is recognized worldwide and can be a unicorn. You know, I might be now a little bit, you know, too optimistic for the future, but well, we built it one of the leading VPN providers worldwide on the market. We have a very strong brand. We have incredible technology, and we have everything that is needed to grow the company to the next level. But you can't do that always by yourself. So for many reasons. So being bootstrapped means you are limited in your possibilities of financing your growth. So, and when you're bootstrapped, you always care about profitability first and cash flow first, and you don't work properly on a lot of things you should work on. So that's one thing. You need partners. It might be a VC investment, it might be a financing through a bank or whatever. So you need external partners to go to the next level. So that was pretty clear. And I was looking for partners since 1.5, 2 years. And second is, on a very personal level, I mean, I really built here an amazing team. So I'm super proud of everybody who works for CyberGhost because it's a rockstar team. But it's kind of, for me on a personal level, a one-way road. Because, you know, I mean, I taught these people a lot, you know, I'm like, hopefully I can say that I'm a pretty good leader. But I can't really have an exchange with people on my level, so I have nobody to learn from. So, and at some point when you're an entrepreneur, you have to recognize at some point, I'm kind of, you know, I'm stuck. So, and so I had two needs, like financing. I need to have a potent partner, a partner who can help us grow. And I need people who help me personally grow as a manager at some point. Because now we are playing in the Premier League. So, and that's why I did the exit and I sold to Crossrider, because, you know, people like Ido and his team can help me grow. I can learn from these guys from now on. And yeah, that was the second decision. So while I was searching for a VC partner, and I met the guys from Crossrider and we started to talk, and I was like, yeah, well, maybe you can skip that step. You can simply skip the step, getting a VC on, and do an exit, because what do you do as an entrepreneur with a VC on board? So first thing he is asking you, when do we exit? Because they need to do 10 times X return on their invest, and they're gonna pressure you to sell the company at any moment. And the guys from Crossrider were interested in two things. They wanted to acquire the company, but they wanted to acquire as well the team and me. So that was an amazing opportunity, maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity, you know, to do an exit, but at the same time to stay on board and to continue to grow the team and fulfill my dreams. So it was the perfect deal for me, and I hope it's the perfect deal for Crossrider.
Just to what Robert just said, I think that when you see early stage companies, local early stage companies doing an exit or joining forces with bigger international groups, it's a sign of the evolution of the technology ecosystem. And I think that with the partnering with the acquisition of CyberGhost by Crossrider, it's a sign of the strengths and the great development that the ecosystem of the technology early stage companies in Romania is happening. And I think that if we take 4 or 5 years ago, you couldn't find a lot of occasions that international companies came and found technological assets, early stage assets in Bucharest, and this is a sign of the development of the ecosystem here. I think that Roberts needs to be congratulated of the great company that he was able to develop here. I think that the CyberGhost team needs to be can be proud and be congratulated of the great quality of business that they were able to create. And I think that the Tech Hub society here needs to be congratulated as well, because they did the first introduction between Crossrider and CyberGhost, and it's all signs of good things that's happening in the ecosystem. and it's part of the process. And we as Israelis, and if we look on the size of the country of Israel, the size of the population and amount of exits of early stage companies is phenomenal. And we see the same evolution in the ecosystem here in Bucharest. And we as a publicly traded company, a business that started in Israel by two founders, traded on the London Stock Exchange, one of the biggest stock exchanges in the world with market cap close to $200 million, 7 locations around the world with 200 people, and still maintaining the startup environment. And this was key, that me and Robert will be able to join forces and the team will get along together. It's a huge sign of the evolution of the technology ecosystem here in Bucharest. And for Robert and the team in CyberGhost, it's a huge opportunity to take their business of CyberGhost to a global level and become an industry leader in the cybersecurity space. And we will be happy to be the right partner to help them to achieve this.
You both mentioned this key element, the team. What is going to happen with CyberGhost employees, with the team? How will things evolve in this direction?
I'll start. I think that the hardest part of doing M&A is the day after. And a lot of time, people that are involved in mergers and acquisition are confused that it's hard to get the deal done. But when you complete the deal, you just start to work, because we don't buy real estate, we don't buy properties. At the end of the day, technology are just about the human talent. And this is what we liked in CyberGhost, the talent in the team. And we like the talent that we have in Crossrider, and the reason that we think that there is a huge potential for such deal is that the synergies between the teams across the 7 locations of Crossrider around the world is very unique. We would like to invest even more into the teams of CyberGhost to help each one of the employees of CyberGhost and Crossrider the ability to develop his career in the organization. I think now the opportunities for the CyberGhost team within the wider group are totally in a different place compared to be a standalone early stage company. And we would like to embrace and develop the team much, to the next level. And as Bucharest is one of our main operational hub, and I promise it to our team when I join Crossrider, we'll just keep growing. And I think for the team of CyberGhost, it's a huge opportunity, huge.
Yeah, I mean, what did these guys buy at the end of the day? I mean, now they acquired CyberGhost. So it's always the same thing with tech companies. You buy basically five things. You buy market shares, or you buy a market standing, and you buy the team, and the team. That's what you buy. So, and I always said I only would do a VC investment or an exit like that or something if at the day after the deal, CyberGhost is stronger than before. So it wouldn't make sense to do it otherwise. And that's exactly what happened. CyberGhost is stronger than before because we are now part of an international working, not even corporation, because as Ido said, we identified very, very fast, Crossrider has a startup culture. If you look at the operations, this is a fast-moving, incredible team with low overheads. It's a startup with the possibilities of an corporation. I mean, we did the whole merger now in 2 months or something like that. That is incredible. You usually need 6 months or 8 months to get to a conclusion. I mean, these guys and we did it just in 2 months. That shows how fast they can move. And that's what I like about the opportunity. It's not a startup now merging with a corporation and now we have to talk about culture and how we do it. It's a startup joining another startup. And we're joining forces. So I mean, it's the best I could do for the team as well, because look, CyberGhost is a quite stable team. So we are a rockstar team, and people usually don't leave CyberGhost once they signed off, because there's no big reasons to leave, because it's, yeah, I think it's a cool place. The only people who left were like 2 or 3 people who came to my office in the last 2 years who said, Robert, I'm gonna leave the country. You know, and I can't compete with that. So what shall I offer them? You know, we have our headquarters in Romania, so I can't just not move them to Sinaia or something. They wouldn't be happy with that. They wanted to leave the country. Now we can tell them, yeah, well, move to Tel Aviv, move to London, move to Aachen, move to one of the places we already have. So I mean, more career opportunities for the people, more opportunities to learn. They can learn now from their colleagues in Tel Aviv. They can learn now from their colleagues that are already here in Bucharest. They can learn from the people in London. They can learn from the new management team. I mean, that's just more opportunities. And as I said, we don't talk here about the tech acquisition. You know, the guys are not interested in our source code. They are interested in our people, and they want to help the team growing. So everybody is in growth mood right now.
This might sound silly, but people ask, so I will ask you as well. What will happen with CyberGhost, with the name, with the products that you are now developing? There are people that are using your VPN solutions, so they ask what is going to happen.
So it's a good question and a very easy answer. We like the brand, and we like to leverage the CyberGhost brand and make it even stronger. One of the projects that we have here in Bucharest, and it's part of the steps that Crossrider is making to be one of the leading global technology companies that operates in Romania, is that we opened the Crossrider Innovation Center here. And we encourage people from the Tech Hub to participate and join our community. And we would like to help young entrepreneurs here to go the same journey as Crossrider did, as a company that started with 2 people and became a publicly traded company in London. And regarding to your question, definitely would like to develop the brand. One of the main synergies that we saw in this acquisition is that the vast majority of the traffic that goes to the CyberGhost platform is organic traffic. And all the development and the nice growth rates that CyberGhost were able to achieve is by building a strong brand. And Crossrider, as a company that specializes in user acquisition strategy, in buying media and optimize the distribution funnel in each one of the steps, can help a lot in order to push the brand of CyberGhost to the next level. And so definitely we like the brand, we like the logo, we like the colors. So yeah, we will keep developing it under the umbrella of Crossrider.
Yes.
Robert, how much did you focus on the exit strategy? How much did you think about this decision? If it's the right one, if it's not?
Well, a lot. I mean, as I said, the last 1.5 years, I was more and more aware of the fact that we can't continue the journey on ourselves. It is like, I mean, you know that I like to simplify. It's like, you know, you don't go with a knife to a gunfight. And I was feeling that we start doing that. So the market around us is constantly growing. We got a lot of competitions, and then you see what happens in the industry. We saw last year or the year ago an exit, the first big exit in this industry from Hide My Ass towards AVG, who just acquired Hide My Ass for way too much money. And then we saw some VC investment floating into the German market. One of our competitors, Zenmate, got a 3.6 million investment 3 years ago. I saw how they burned the money. If you look at their balance sheet, they're just losing 1 million every year. So we are going into a future where, yeah, well, finances and money counts as well. And so I said, I have to do something. So I have to look for potential partners. So in the last 1.5 years, I was constantly talking with people, but it was never the right fit because, you know, for me, I didn't want to have look, I got a lot of offers to sell the company. Since 2 years or something like that, I get like every 3 months somebody calling me, can we acquire CyberGhost? And money never played a role, you know, I don't care about money. I seriously don't. So I was always looking for the future of the company. And it was quite complicated because VCs don't necessarily offer you a future for the company. They offer you a good way for you as a founder to have an exit in a way that you can cash out at some point, which is nice, but that was also not my intention. So I was lucky, seriously lucky to meet these guys. And I only met Crossrider really through the community here. So if I wouldn't have been involved in the community, if I wouldn't have been connected, I wouldn't have met the guys. And Ido is completely right. I mean, the exit shows also the status quo of the communities here, or of the tech society, let's say. So it is a big exit, and it shows where we stand, and it shows where the community could head on. And you know that I was always the one who was talking community, community, community. We have to build communities. We have to build infrastructure. Welcome Crossrider now to the tech community in Romania. That's a player we were waiting for. We were waiting for these Google, Facebook, whatever kind of companies who know how to build tech companies and know how to build infrastructure, and who would be able to push some money in the infrastructure. I mean, look at the tech hub in London, for example. The tech hub in London doesn't pay a single euro rent because they got the place from Google for free. So that's how they build communities in London. That's how they do it in Berlin. That's how they do it everywhere. So we were waiting also community-wise for a big player who can help us. And okay, it's Crossrider now. It's not Google, it's not Facebook, but it's a startup.
It's better than Facebook.
It's way better than Google and Facebook, because it's still a startup, and you know, who has a lot of cash on the account. So if you look at the balance sheet of Crossrider, that's a quite healthy company, you know, with a management who knows how to build stuff without overheads. They opened already here a space to accelerate things. So, and now as we join forces, you know, and we are very active with the Tech Hub community, I think it's going to have a very positive impact on the tech community. So now you have like a really global player on the market that can help the community here go to the next level. And we are super interested in, you know, cybersecurity startups, all kind of startups who do stuff, you know. Welcome to the new world.
Ido, what about you? Were you hunting CyberGhost for some time, or was just the opportunity that came around and you decided to find out more about the company and just acquired?
It's an interesting question, because Crossrider, and it's part of the group that we are part of. Crossrider, the majority shareholder of Crossrider, I don't know if you heard the name, is one of the most successful tech entrepreneurs in his generation in Israel. It's a Mr. Teddy Sagi. And the DNA of Crossrider, like the other parts of the group, is that constantly we are looking to interesting companies that we can join forces together, and that 1 + 1 will be equal 4 or 5. And with the opportunity with CyberGhost, I think that we came across CyberGhost, that we started to look how we can scale up our strong capabilities and know-how in creating smart distribution funnel, and the optimization of each one of the steps, from bringing the traffic into the funnel, personalizing the consumer journey, and optimizing the retention rates. So this is what Crossrider did all the life of the company, and we started to do a little bit of shifting to a more B2C orientation, because we wanted to be closer to the end user. And this is where we started to look about on product that will be synergistic to what we know to do. And when we met Bogdan and the guys from Tech Hub, they said, it will be interesting for you to meet the guys from CyberGhost. And this is when I met Robert, and we saw that the synergy case between the two companies is amazing. And so obviously now we need to work hard and realize the synergies, but the opportunity was clear. And this is why we were so keen to drive forward to this deal. And as we went more to the granular level, to the details in building up the synergy case, we saw that there is an amazing opportunity.
What's your strategy, Ido, in the cybersecurity market for the upcoming years? What are you going to do together now?
So first of all, just to summarize the first part, the market received the announcement of the deal between Crossrider and CyberGhost very well. the share price of Crossrider went up more than 25% in the last 5 days since we announced the acquisition. The way I see the future development of Crossrider in the cybersecurity space is that we see that as the internet evolving and the world become one global place, the need for the end user, for the consumer, to have protection and protection on his basic requirements, or if it's privacy, if it's the security of what kids or adults doing online, is a basic thing, and we would like to be a key player in this evolution, in this process. We see our goal that Crossrider will become one of the global leaders in the consumer cybersecurity space. I think that we have established operation in Crossrider that already doing very well in this space. Now with the partnership with CyberGhost, we can enhance the pace that Crossrider will develop its value proposition in this market. We have strong activity in the media and user acquisition strategies that can help a lot. So yeah, it's as I said, we are just starting, and we have a big vision to achieve. We have big plans, and we are all excited about to do this journey together.
Yeah, I mean, I think the next thing we have to do is keep our focus on what we did before, because now everybody's a little bit exhausted, but everybody's also a little bit excited right now about new opportunities. So what I will do is we keep focus on what we did, because we did it pretty well, and we're going to do it now a little bit better. I also believe that CyberGhost in the Crossrider group has the potential to build a worldwide acknowledged cybersecurity company, because we do it a little bit different than the industry did it before. The acknowledgement of privacy as being a part of security solutions is quite new. And you need to be expert in encryption technologies. You need to be very experienced in how you build your organization. So we have this DNA already. And as time will go by in future, privacy will become more and more important. Every big leak out there, every big hack will show more and more what privacy means online. And as I always say, look, it's like security is if you go home and lock your door because you don't want that anybody enters your place. That's what we all know. And that's also cybersecurity. You're going to lock your computer so nobody enters this. But privacy is if you go home and close your blinds because you don't want that your neighbors stare in your bedroom when you're with your girlfriend or whatever. So this is privacy. And the same thing is happening online right now. And it gets more and more important. So what we do is we work on what we have right now, but we keep our eyes open, because I mean, that's what I always told our team, and they know it, right now we are a VPN company on the way to change to a privacy as a service provider, because I think in 2 years from now, people don't even care what a VPN is, because they just need a solution for problems that are real life problems. And we are building that right now. And I think we have a lot of opportunities to add different kind of layers. So we're gonna keep our eyes open for, I don't know, startups to work on stuff. We have a couple of ideas to improve our service. Yeah, we stay focused and keep our eyes open. And I wanna be the #1 privacy as a service provider in a couple of years.